Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a official roundup for the American Numismatic Association's Money Show and Money Convention in Phoenix, Arizona, that just happened last week. And for those of you who were there and I got to meet you, thank you for stopping by. It was really a great show for me personally. I'll just say that myself and my coworker Francis had a really nice time engaging with everybody that came through, including and not limited to Dr. G, who for some of you, he has some really great YouTube videos out there, and just a salt of the earth kind of guy. It was great to meet. Also, I was the kindness that people have. It's just very overwhelming to me, and I appreciate it very much. So, and as far as the show goes, well, first of all, security is a big deal right now. So the ANA has put out many things, including a video the week before the show. Almost every show that I've seen or gone to has had the ANA's flyer for security show tips. And Doug Davis, who runs the Anti-Counterfeit League and the Justice League, but he's a busy man. He was set up there. I talked to him very briefly. I hope to do an interview with him because he's a pretty sharp guy and he's on top of numismatic crime. And so he had a 25 or 30-minute video that the ANA put out. And I don't know a lot of people saw it, but I watched it and it had a lot of good information on it. The security details, everyone who worked there was great. They were very, very good about checking badges, and you could feel their presence the entire time you were there, which is saying something for a show with, I don't know how many dealers are set up. There's got to be 400 tables and 200 dealers. There's a lot of dealers set up there. But the security presence was on top of stuff, and that was much appreciated. The show itself, to me, is very interesting because, once again, you're in a very huge convention center, and it feels like a giant, giant warehouse, right? And so, first of all, the center area, where it was the most expensive area of the room, they had carpet. But I was in the concrete zone, right? Like I didn't quite qualify. In fact, we joked that we weren't allowed to cross the carpet, like we had to walk around it. If I wanted to go from one cheapskate area to the other, I had to go like all the way around. And so we had a good show. We were busy the entire time. And a lot of guys that I talked to had the same experience. And there were a number of guys who packed up. So the first show day was Thursday, then Friday, and then Saturday. I think Thursday probably was officially the busiest day. I mean, if I had to guess attendance, it would have been Thursday is the busiest day. I'm not going to guess numbers. I have no idea how many people went through the door. Friday was also very, very busy. There's a lot of fun little journalism stuff going on. Some young people from the Cronkite College of college. I don't know anything about college. I'm going to go with journalism. How's that? How does that sound? And Lydia Curry was the gal's name. She was fantastic. Wrote an article. We're in there. We'll link that in some of our show notes and other stuff here. But also a young man from a local radio was doing stuff. I haven't been able to find his content yet. I'll keep a lookout for it. If we find it, we'll post it also. And of course the ANA's walking around with their own guys that take pictures. I met the gentleman who does all the photography for their magazine and stuff, and real super nice guy. The people from the ANA were all very nice, good to work with. The show itself, for some of the people, so Thursday, Friday. Now, Friday night, there was a good, I want to say 20% of the people packed up and left Friday night. And I don't know if it's because hotel rooms in the area were $350, $400 a night, or I don't know, they just weren't having a good show, or the only flight they could get was out Saturday morning. There's different reasons for that. But we were plenty busy all day Saturday. So I don't know if people just decided they did all the business that they had to do, so they were leaving. They'd done all the business they wanted to do. They had to catch a flight. I'm still really intrigued by how many days the show is, and no matter how many days the show is, people leave early. So it's kind of like if it's a one-day show, does no one show up? Like what? Anyway, Saturday is the free day to get in, though, so maybe people don't feel like they got ripped off if they show up. Pro tip, by the way, if for anyone who's going to the show and they give you your ANA badge, keep this badge because you're going to need it to the next ANA show, and then they just give you a new ribbon. I didn't know that. So I had to get a new badge this time because the badge that I had was missing. I didn't know I needed the badge. They just sent me a ribbon, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I had no idea. Rookie, you can always tell the rookies, right? Just follow me. Let me see what else was so good about the show. Well, we had the pages. They get the young kids, the YNs. There's lots of coin clubs set up there, and the feedback from people who got to the show. First of all, a show that size is very overwhelming, and that was the feedback we got very consistently. And so that is something that you need to kind of have a game plan when you go into big shows. So if you're going to Fun or Central States or Long Beach or Baltimore, you need to go in with a game plan, and you need to have an understanding of what you're looking for. Also, sometimes who you're looking for. So one of the hard things is if you don't go to a lot of shows, you don't necessarily know who to not deal with. And so you spend a show like that, it's good to be able to go 2 or 3 days. You get a feel for the room. You get a feel for people that you just don't want to deal with because their price points are too high or they're just too grumpy. And people you feel like you can deal with. Either they're just nice to deal with, or even if their price points are high, maybe they're willing to, maybe they have nicer quality stuff and, that type of thing. So what else was going on there? We saw the Mint Director was signing stuff. The U.S. Mint had a huge display. Very nice stuff. Of course, as always, there's crazy neat stuff there. I mean, you get to see slugs. Slugs are the $50 gold pieces, one of my all-time favorites. And I'm talking about both kinds, both the California Gold Rush pieces, but then also the commemoratives, the Pan Pac $50 gold pieces. Those are amongst my all-time favorite numismatic items. If I had a bucket list, those would be on there. They're very, very neat coins. And what's interesting to me still, though, is when I talk to people who are walking around trying to do something like put together, say, a Barber quarter set in VF. Those guys have a harder time finding coins than if you wanted to go buy a Pan Pac $50 gold piece, right? Because the Pan Pac, all it takes is money, And I had a guy show me, he bought a nice VF 14D, which is another thing I joke about. I'm like, you go to that show, and not only are there SVDBs everywhere, there's some dealers that have like 10 1909 SVDBs and AU to MS65, but go find a nice 14D. I did see a dealer with a 14D and XF, and I thought, man, that's really so much more rare than these 09 SVDBs are. So, and also, can I just talk a little bit about the community there? There's so many good guys at a show like that you can get to know and spend time with, and they just have people coming back all the time, right? Like you can see it. Like if you walk a show, if you just are kind of a fly on the wall and you listen, you can just hear and see the sights and sounds of people having a fun time together, talking coins, talking rarity, talking whatever their niche is, right? Like there's guys there that have buckets of coins that you can dig through that are cheap. There are people there that have boxes of paper money at $0.25 each or 50 cents each, that type of thing. So there's not only the $60,000 or $100,000 coins. There's stuff for everybody there. And that's what's really good about a show like that. And hopefully any regional show that you have has the same thing. I know that at our club show, you'll see guys with really nice stuff, and you'll see guys with very common stuff and average stuff. And still one of my favorite things about coin collecting is that it's available for everybody. It's available for everybody. Now, you may have the want to have only really expensive coins, and it just might not be your budget. And I get that. So when you look at certain things, you think, I want that, but I can only afford this. That's life. Like that's everything. We go through that with everything from our cars to our houses to to whatever. Also, let me see. The show for me was fun. I did a couple of live streams Thursday night and Friday night, and it was just kind of go. I did get to catch up with some Coin Geek friends, which was good. Some people I hadn't seen in a while, and that's always fun. Also, we got to announce the Tucson Coin Show, which is going to be the third weekend in January here in Tucson, and we're going to have more details rolling out. We just kind of have a holding place for our website right now, TucsonCoinshow.com. But I'm excited for that, and it's good to see a show like this because it helps me fine-tune what I'm looking for. Because what I want in the show is everyone to really have a good time and feel very welcome. And so that's going to be something that I'm looking forward to. As far as an ANA show goes, I know there's also a lot of guys handing out flyers for like, I'm the next guy for the ANA Board of Governors. I'm the next guy. Vote for me. Vote for me. And it's interesting because there's 27,000, 25,000, something like that members in the ANA. And I think they get like 7 or 8 people on the board and like 14 or 15 people run. And there are people who want the shows always to be like just in the same couple of big cities. And then there are people who want the shows to end up in smaller areas. And it's very interesting to me that there's really a dichotomy of opinion on that type of stuff. And we'll see how that breaks down. I've never really gotten into any of the ANA politics, and quite frankly, I don't want to be involved. But it was interesting to me. That's just something else. When you go to a show like that, you'll see people handing out flyers for lots of different things. So all in all, I hope to see you guys at a show soon. I'm going to be at the Central States Show in April, so that's as far east and Midwest as I'm getting. I shouldn't say as far east. I'm going to the Texas Numismatic Show in Arlington in June. But I got people voting to try to get me to come to Tennessee. Maybe I'll consider doing the fun show in January. It just depends on how things break for the rest of my schedule coming up. But once again, as always, shows are a fantastic way to engage in the hobby, to get to meet new people, and to get to learn. By the way, there are a ton of presentations. There's lots of kids stuff, which is fun. I didn't get to see any of it because it was basically, I came in, I tried to do a little shopping if I could, and then, there's just the show. It's just all day. As far as the market goes, it's still tight. I mean, it's still hard to get good inventory for your customers. Guys are not really budging on prices yet. And that is something that my opinion is that that'll soften up a little bit coming up. But we'll see. We'll see. To be determined, as the kids say. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben, the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.